fellow merfolk and merfolk to be. My name is Faith, and today I'm reviewing the tail I got from Mermaid Kat shop. Mermaid Kat is a professional mermaid performer and instructor and has created her own line of tails. They caught my eye a while ago, but what really pushed me into initiating a review with them was their new edition of the monofin. They've cut a new mermaid shape at the bottom of the fin, so it is the Hydra or the Triton if you have smaller feet. So without any further ado, let's get into the review. So for the cosmetics of this tail, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. If you know me, you know these are my colors, like I have it in my logo and everything, and it's so pretty. The scales are very scaly looking, like they've got a decent amount of contrast. The ribbing on the fluke is lovely, and I absolutely adore this bit of white you see here that gives it a bit of texture. I found that it's not as see-through as I was expecting given how thin the fabric is. They also gave me a bikini which matched the ribbing on the fluke. Now, of all the tails that I have, this one honestly fits me the best. It doesn't come up too far past my belly button, or it's not too short like if I'm wearing a kid's tail, or too tight. So I think that they did a really good job in making the sizing work. Now, when I wear this tail, I'm not a huge fan of the big chunky bit at the ankles, especially because it's wider laterally than vertically, if that makes any sense. So it's kind of different than the boxiness I get on my other tails. So now we're moving on to comfort. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. So it's really important to note, take out the plastic inserts on the monofin. I did my first swim with these on inside the tail, and I was like, man, why do I feel like there's plastic digging to my sides? I thought this thing was rubber. Yeah. You're meant to take those out. In regards to the monofin after, I didn't have any problems with my feet. It's comfortable, it's not too tight. Like, I think this fin is a little bit too big for me, honestly. I could have gotten the Triton. This is the size medium from US size 7 to 10. Now I'm like a 6.5, so I can probably go either or. It fit the size of tail that I had, so that's what I got. So I would compare wearing this monofin to a pair of like heavy boots, like ski boots or even hockey skates. It's different than a pair of flip-flops, which is what I would compare my Fin Fun monofin to. Obviously my Fin Fun monofin is a lot lighter, whereas my Mermaid Kat monofin, it's definitely big, sturdy, fits over my feet very well, and it's giant. Like if you're wearing a pair of hockey skates, you're gonna notice it at first, but as soon as you're getting out there and using them to their full potential and having fun, you're not gonna notice that it's a lot bigger and sturdier than, say, a pair of flip-flops, right? So now we're moving on to durability. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. In my opinion, this is honestly the biggest drawback to the tail, is how easily it kind of fades and pills and rubs. I've swum in this tail about 3 or 4 times now. One of the times I swam in it in sort of a rougher pool, another time it was, well, in the river. You'll see that later. So it is understandable that I'm getting damage done, but it's kind of, it's a little disappointing to me. I've even got a few little holes at the ends of my fluke tips. They do provide these little bumpers, but they don't really do a lot in regards to keeping your tail tips nice. Now, I'm not blaming all the damage on the tail or Mermaid Kat because I wasn't used to how big this monofin is. This is a good 2 or 3 inches longer than any of my other monofins, so I wasn't used to how big it was. So I was bumping into the side of the pool a lot more than I normally do. I felt a little clumsy in this tail at first. After every swim I've done with it, there's more and more noticeable pilling and scraping and rubbing these little white bits. And to be honest, I was less than impressed considering that this tail was showing more damage in a couple of swims than tails I've had for like 6-7 months. But if you take care of it and try and swim in more open places and take some preventable measures about whacking your tail tips, then it shouldn't be too bad. Alright, so customer service, I'm giving them a 9 out of 10. The website is really nice, and they offer in English too and German. Ordering is really easy, and as well, shipping, this is like totally my fault. I actually had it shipped to Canada, get stuck at the post office where I had my PO stuff, and then shipped back. So yeah, just don't ship things to PO boxes. If it's an international package, it needs to be signed off. Next time I get something from overseas, I'm just gonna get it shipped right to my home address. They handled it with such grace, and Mermaid Kat is really wonderful and sweet. You can check out the interview I did on her blog right here. It was pretty fun, and yeah, I really enjoyed working with them. Alright, so for the performance, I'm giving this tail an 8 out of 10. The thing with this monofin is that it is huge and powerful, and it's a lot different than what I was expecting. I was expecting it to be a lot more flexible. While this monofin does have some flex and give, it's definitely not as bendy as a Fin Fun monofin, as you can tell. Whee! But it is so powerful. I was able to go really fast. It has these straps here which are really awesome to just tighten it like this, so you can easily reach like even through your fabric of your tail. Pull them tight. To release, hold the buckle like this, and you can see it's already coming out. Super easy. If you need to get it off quickly, you can also just push the strap in like this and pull it out and it'll be free. It's my first kind of more professional freediving monofin, so I was a little nervous about using it. This thing is really powerful, and like I said before, it's super sturdy. Like, I don't think this thing's ever gonna give up on me. These particular monofins are definitely designed for freediving. If you don't know what that is, that's basically scuba diving with no tank. It allows you to get very far, very fast with little oxygen usage. So I decided to take this thing out into open waters with the current to see how it would do, because I don't ever like using flimsy monofins like this in open waters. I would never want to do that. Let's see how that went. I am swimming upriver.
Good job.
Okay. Oh, my feet are so cold. Swimming in a river in March in Canada is not something I would recommend to everyone, but I did it and I felt pretty good about using the monofin. I didn't feel like my feet were gonna cramp up and slide out. They hide a zipper in here. Here it is. It's like one of those dress zippers. I would be a little careful with it. This is how you put in the monofin. You slide the monofin over the tail tips. I'm kind of doing it backwards. Here you can see why the plastic kind of rubs the tail a little bit. And zip it closed. Kind of pull the fabric over if you can. And there we go. So my total score for this mermaid tail is 41 out of 50. That's an 82%. That's a B. I think that's an accurate grade for this tail, especially given the type of swimming that I like to do. It's definitely a good tail for like a second tail, especially if you're planning on swimming in the ocean. I think that it would do really well in that sort of area.
Drum roll, please. I decided to name my new tail Aurora! Thank you to the 4 lovely ladies that suggested it. I really love the name and I think it suits the tail perfectly, so thank you for helping me name my tail.
So thank you so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed it or found it helpful, give it a thumbs up. Comment below if you have any questions about the mermaid cat tail or any products you want me to review in the future, and I'll do my best. Subscribe if you haven't already to see more of my face and whatever mermaidy stuff I get up to next. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye!